Okay, amazing property, spectacular property. This is Tract 6 at Riverside at the Niangua. We're just across the river. We're up in the air, maybe 100 feet, and we're looking directly over the river at the property. So you're looking at the river frontage. It's a mix of a beautiful gravel beach area, some trees, and then beyond that, the lower field. But let's take a look at this. Gorgeous, clear section of water. Trout, bass. You can actually catch rainbow trout and brown trout from the property, which is pretty darn amazing. Bass as well, but this is in a white river section for trout fishing. A few miles down river, I guess, from Bennett Springs. Look how clear that is. That is just stunning. Great for swimming as well, canoeing, kayaking, floating. Very, very popular river. In the summertime, this area gets pretty lively. On the left, on the other side of the river, that's a small, I guess you'd call it a resort, a small kind of resort operation. I think it's called Maggards or One-Eyed Willie's. They're both in the area. Okay, so now we're looking. Okay, we're kind of checking out the. I believe we're searching for the truck, which we parked as a landmark kind of in the middle of the field on the property, but I don't see the truck. Come here, red truck. Well, I thought we had it parked there. Oh, there it is. Went too far. Okay, so the truck is parked roughly in the center of that frontage on the property. So that lower field, that beautiful lower field, is on the property. You could actually build there, but do be advised it's within the 100-year floodplain, so you'd have to elevate your structure. Pretty common that people do that actually on the good rivers, and this is top quality. This is in our minds as good as it gets. So people do spend the money to elevate their structures to get them, directly overlooking the water. So you've got that option, but the thing about this property is it gives you a lot of options, which is very rare on a river property. Usually on a river property, if you have a building site, you have one small building site, and you either build there or you don't build at all. This property, you have, like I said, you have options, which is one of the reasons we love it. As we look toward the county road, you can see the lower field where the truck is. You can also see that upper field, and the property portion of that upper field is on the property as well. You could build there. You could be high and dry, completely out of any flood zone. If you build kind of toward the tree line that we're about to cross over, you could potentially have a beautiful river view, and you've got access to the water itself. You don't have to go down that hillside. There's a gravel easement road which goes down and around and back to and over the property. So you've got access to the bottom by road. So pretty darn unique. So we're flying over that, what we call the upper field. You can check out the listing to see the maps and the dimensions, but easily wide enough to build any type of home that you would like. As is typical of river properties, I don't want to say it's long and thin, but it's definitely long. It starts at that county road and goes down to the river, and it widens out as you get to the water. So by the time you get to the water, the property is at its widest, which is generally what you want on a river because you want the frontage, and this tract has that. Looking into the sun, everything looks terrible when you're looking into the sun. This is a wintertime video. In the spring, in the summer, this is going to look so much different. Everything's going to green up. This property, we've been looking at these tracts for almost 3 years. Sometimes that's how long it takes to put something together, especially on a complicated deal like this one turned out to be. But it did have some logging done. It had some really large oak trees that were basically at the end of their life cycle. They were declining. In health, I guess you would say. Oak trees only live so long, and these ones were they had peaked and they needed to be harvested, and they were. So there are still some large trees left on the property, but the largest commercial oaks were harvested. As you'll see in the video, and you'll see when you visit the properties. So that could be cleaned up, it could be left as it is, you know, your choice. Oftentimes we clean up after, if there's been some logging done. Obviously that has to be reflected in the price. So what we've done here, we've left them just as it is. This really, to be the most usable, should have a trail created directly to the water. We got there on a four-wheeler, but it'd be more family friendly to be able to, you know, probably drive a truck at least to the water's edge. That's not that hard to do. Probably takes a day with a skid loader or a tractor with the loader. Okay, so now we're flying over that upper field. I should have been paying attention to the video here. This track 6 is really well situated. You get some of that area right there. I mean, that's all level, and then it's easily wide enough to be buildable. And if you wanted to, you could build about where we are now, clear out some of those smaller and medium trees, that's a level site, or build at the crest of the hill, and you're going to have that river view and the whole river valley view. So I mean, you just have so many different options. And again, although that hillside is, for the most part, what we'd call fairly steep, there is the gravel easement road. There you can see it at the bottom of the screen. It goes down and around and it services, or serves, I guess, all these eight tracks here. So that's how we were able to easily drive the truck and trailer right down to where it is. And then we took the four-wheeler, I believe we took the four-wheeler right to the frontage on, oh, that's the end. Awesome property. Very, 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 very rare, very hard to find these riverfront tracks. We've literally never seen anything like this. To be able to have so many different spots to build, so many different usages. We've got some minor covenants in place as far as no commercial activity. We've already been approached by outfitters and what am I trying to say? Outfitters and campgrounds and such that wanted to buy parts or all of this. We said no to all of them. It's not what we do. We do recreational and residential. So we make a little less money that way, as the commercial is worth more. We got offered quite a bit for some of this property. That's just not what we do. We want to create sites for families to enjoy. So check us out at InstantAcres.com. If this tract is still available, that's where you'll see it. We can answer any questions you have. The listing page will probably answer 95% of your questions, but please don't hesitate to call or email us if you have any questions that aren't answered, or if you just want to chat about the property. We would love to talk to you. InstantAcres.com.